But if you if you start to get used to being a little bit more uncomfortable, that can be really valuable for you outside of just like the physicality part, but like just being an adaptable human being, which makes you like more resilient, and it can make you more interesting too. Like if you're just the guy who can only talk about like deadlifts, right? Like that was me at one point in my life. And I remember I actually took a trip. I went to Costa Rica, and I think it's like when you find like the middle of that, like you can do a little bit of both, then that's when it's like, oh yeah, like this guy, I really just want to listen to this guy or girl, and I like want to learn from them, and it's just nice being around them, or
Yeah.
just like watching their content or whatever. It's a thing that sometimes you can't really describe, but you just know it.
I definitely get what you mean with just having that presence, and you can tell they've walked that road. They're saying it. It's not just emptiness.
Like and it's just a way more like gratifying experience to go through that and to get that physique on the back end, like secondary, but it's still there, it still comes. But you also like get this really like rich experience of going after something and attaining something.
Exactly. And I feel that that's a transition. I see a lot of people starting in aesthetics, starting in bodybuilding. Their mindset would be going to a session, I'm doing this exercise to absolutely destroy my delts, and
Yeah.
I've got to chase the pump, I've got to get the burn. And
uh,
they're going to get to the same situation as someone that's doing handstand push-ups, relatively speaking.
right, right, right. But it's the intentions are a bit different, right?
Yeah. Which comes
Yeah.
on to what I would like to help unpack myself and give the listeners some guidance.
And I've found that to be a lot more effective and a lot more fun than just like sitting into passive stretching. And that's not to say that passive stretching isn't good. I think passive stretching can be great, but if you tend to gravitate towards like doing something more like I do, then I think that other methods can be great.
Do you have any prescriptions or rough protocols, guidelines for dynamic movements in terms of reps, time, etc.?
I mean, I've used like with great success, I've used um, dynamic stretching as a means of like do 10 reps of something and then hold on that last rep for 10 to 30 seconds, right? So let's see, I'm trying to think of like an example here. Maybe we just say like for the hamstrings, doing like a good morning motion, right? So you could kind of be just going like gently pushing yourself more and more into that deep range of motion, with like making sure that you're keeping the technique there, kind of hitting that 10 times, and then on the last one hold for 10 seconds, and then you can kind of build that up over time.